Good morning, Whitewater students, and happy Tuesday. This is video 4, and this one is going to address how we're going to be conducting the class. This can be a lot about our WebEx meetings and a little bit about Canvas and how I'll use Canvas. So I have been creating these YouTube videos as a way of introducing myself. I am a little bit concerned that uh, some people are watching them, but not everybody. So I will be accompanying this video with a WINS email and also a Canvas announcement telling people to check out this video in particular. I think uh, some key information is here. So hopefully everybody will get caught up after seeing this video. So Canvas, let me deal with Canvas first. People have sent me emails expressing concern about not being able to uh, submit assignments. And this morning, I think I resolved that successfully. The attempts I made to get answers from the Canvas help desk weren't really successful. I think they're feeling a bit overwhelmed. They kind of gave me a runaround. So I rewatched instructional videos that I watched before and um, revisited the assignment page and worked out the problem. So in listening to the instructional videos, um, I am aware that there are some ways I could be using Canvas that in the long run would probably prove advantageous both to myself and to you. So I'm going to be taking advantage of that in ways that I didn't previous semesters. I'll be creating pages more as we go, but all of the information, the whole class is carefully mapped out on the syllabus that I posted on Canvas. So it's all there. Everything you would need to know for reading assignments or writing assignments, it's all there. And then I will be over the next week taking the information from that syllabus and integrating it into Canvas's structure more. So I think you'll be able to benefit from that transition because you'll have it in two places. Okay. Um, the other and I think probably more pressing question is the WebEx meetings that we'll be having. So we will be having meetings at our scheduled time using WebEx. Now, this is completely new for me to teach in this fashion. I have used WebEx for meetings, but I've never taught in this fashion before. And it was not something that in the past I did even kind of as a hybrid. I only taught face to face. I've been putting a lot of energy and work into how to do this. I'm still, of course, because I haven't done it before, a little bit apprehensive. So let me remind you guys of a few positive things that means that if we do run into problems tomorrow and Thursday with our first WebEx meetings, there's still no reason for you to become too anxious. First of all, I understand that I can record these meetings, these WebEx meetings. Very good news. That means that if you miss it, I should be able to have a recording for it. The first meetings, I'm going to be lecturing or talking more. And then as we go, it'll be more participatory, more of a dialogue. But I want to take the initiative here. I think it makes sense this semester for that to work in that fashion. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of opportunity to hear from you guys, not just in the WebEx meetings, but also in the discussion boards. You'll be able to reply to reading assignments and what we're talking about in those places. But it will be a little bit lecture heavy in the beginning. Um, we are not going to have, if I can help it, quizzes or exams on the material covered in our WebEx discussions. Now, why not? I know that that's the best way to make sure that everyone's paying attention and done the reading and understanding the discussions. We'll be talking about this throughout the semester. I have very good reasons why I'm doing it differently this semester. I'm going to be trying to present to you guys all sorts of interesting and complex and um, subjects of study that are worth analysis. But I'm not going to have you do a big research project on your own, which used to be a requirement of English 101 and 102 and 105. Rather, we're going to do a number of small assignments. We're going to be responding to the stories in some written assignments. But I want you to think of yourself when you're in the WebEx discussion as almost like a tourist who's curious to find out what's happening, listening, but not with the concern that there's going to be a quiz hanging over your head. Let me give you a quick example of what I mean. Over my shoulder here are two prints by a German artist named Max Beckmann. We'll be looking at some Beckmann works this semester. This is not an art history class. I don't want people looking at those paintings and stressing, oh, do I have to remember what year he had to flee Nazi Germany? Is there going to be a quiz, an exam? No, I would rather you be looking at the work and saying, huh, this is what I see there. This is what I find interesting. In other words, you stay engaged with the lecture because the subject is interesting to you, not because there's a threat of a quiz or an exam hanging over your head. So these things are designed to allay some of your anxieties about how we'll be using WebEx. It will be a conversation. It will be a back and forth, but a lot of the emphasis will be upon me presenting you new information, a song perhaps, or a painting, and sharing your impressions in the moment. Later on, using research skills to find out a little bit more about the artist or about the singer, but not having to turn all of this into complex notes, lecture notes, that then there'd be quizzes and exams on. Nope, we're not going to be doing that if we can help it. All right. I am concerned about the length of the class in terms of it being a WebEx event. I worked for 10 years as an events coordinator at a chain bookstore called Borders, and I hosted huge events, sometimes up to 1,000 people, 1,200. But more often than not, the audiences range between 20 and 70 people. And I did see that there are limits to people's attention span, much more so, I would imagine, from a remote source, right? So, again, I want a little bit of patience from you guys. I'm trying to think of clever ways to keep everybody engaged, making sure that that time is used effectively. But also, I don't want to be doing something where, I'm prattling on forever just to fill the time. And then when I try to get discussion, because people have had a hard time paying attention or staying tuned in, uh, students all kind of get quiet. And, we want to avoid that. So as we go, we'll be figuring out different strategies to keep things lively and interesting and use our time in the most effective way possible. Okay. Um, I will continue to use these YouTube videos for instances where I just want to present some information to you. So classes begin tomorrow. I will be sending WebEx invitations out for the two Wednesday sections. I have a 102 and a 105. Then on Thursday, I have two 101s and a 102. So look for those. As I said, I will be sending these things out through wins as well as Canvas announcements. Try to make sure that I get everybody in this sweep. Okay, so if you've fallen behind with things, there are 4 videos. This is probably the most important one to watch, but I would also try to watch the other ones as well. I think there's a fair amount of introduction to the class in those. All right, I will be seeing all of you soon. Feel free to use email to contact me with any questions. I do have a person helping me, an old friend who I've known since I was 14. Uh, she can't help as much with WebEx, but she is helping quite a bit with Canvas. So um, if you send me a question and I don't have an answer immediately, again, this is a good learning experience for me. Let me dig around a little bit and see if I can get an answer that will help both you and probably help me as well in this new adventure. I do think it's going to be a great semester. I really am excited about some of the things we'll be covering. And I'm excited to learn new teaching skills. Uh, I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. He just usually takes a few more rehearsals. So that's what you'll be seeing, a better rehearsed professor.